Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Governor Andy Beshear just wrapped up, as you saw, a very lengthy afternoon news conference. He did announce one new case of COVID-19 in Kentucky. The state's total is now up to at least 22. The governor says the latest case is a 34-year-old woman from Jefferson County. Still no confirmed cases in southeastern Kentucky, but the governor says he expects more positive cases as we move forward. WYMT's Connor James is live in Hazard with more from that news conference in Frankfort and how daycares are preparing for an uncertain future. Connor?
Hey, Steve. Yeah, like you mentioned, there are 22 confirmed cases of the coronavirus, and we did have one death that we learned this morning, a 66-year-old man out of Bourbon County. Now, the governor did say this man had a handful of pre-existing conditions and underlying health problems that caused this. Now, this morning we heard from the governor mandating that all in-person visits to restaurants and bars close, but obviously drive-through, carry-out, and delivery, that's still encouraged, especially for a lot of our small businesses that are going to be struggling throughout all of this. And today, the governor was joined by the Secretary of State in announcing that they're going to move Kentucky's primary election from May 19th to June 23rd.
Well, this is a bipartisan move. The way the legislature wrote the law, it requires that both the governor and I turn a key. He can't do it by himself, and I can't do it by myself. You've got a Democratic governor and a Republican Secretary of State. I think this is the right answer. And I'll add that the county clerks are pretty unanimous on this as well.
Now, this afternoon, the governor did also say that daycares should close by the end of the workday Friday. The Children's House Montessori here in Hazard has actually been preparing something like this, or really whatever would happen. Today, they had only about 50% of their usual attendance. Here's what the owner said earlier before the conference. As cars can be heard driving by the outside of the Children's House Montessori in Hazard, inside it's a much different story. It's quiet as children take their nap. For staff here, though, it's been a busy morning.
We keep getting calls about this. We are not closing unless the governor tells us we need to do so.
They're not closed, and they don't plan on it unless it comes to that. In the meantime, cleaning is constantly a top priority. Amy Terry, the owner, does have a plan if anything were to happen here while in her care.
We have an emergency plan where we have an emergency contact list to go down the list and go ahead and call the parents and let them know what's going on.
The tough thing as of now is she says out of the 85 kids she has, many of them come from families not working from home.
For 60% of the kids that go to my school are all medical personnel. They're nurses, they are therapists, they are people who need to get there every day. Our doors try to stay open for that.
The Montessori has stocked up on food and supplies to keep running as long as they may need.
When you're a business owner and you take this on, I think you take on the initiative to serve the community, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, Steve, again, daycares are being told to close by the end of the workday Friday. Beshear, in his conference, did mention that there would be some exceptions. We'll be waiting to see exactly what those exceptions are. Steve?
All right, Connor, thank you very much. And the governor just mentioned that his next update expected tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock. Of course, you can see that live here on WYMT. Starting tomorrow, the Perry County Fiscal Court will go to limited services. The Fiscal Court is asking community members to please call in advance with the department you are needing assistance with to see if the business you are calling about can be handled over the phone. We spoke to the Perry County Judge Executive, who says they are not completely closing the courthouse.
We get a lot of people that come to the courthouse on a daily basis, and so we're asking them now that to call ahead, check and see that what you're needing is here, just so that we lead by example in the social distancing.
Judge Alexander says he only wants people to come to the courthouse for essential services at this time to help better protect one another. WYMT's Dakota Makris will have more on this tonight at 11. This morning, Governor Beshear ordered restaurants and bars to stop in-person dining. While this is a change for many, some local restaurants stress they are not closing completely. WYMT's Will Puckett has more from Thatcher's downtown in Jackson, where they are getting ready for the change.
This August will mark the 3-year anniversary since the opening of Sean Thatcher's business.
There's no other options for us. We have to get through this or we close down. And that's how serious this is. This is a serious situation.
On Monday, that very business that usually thrives around lunchtime was brought to a halt.
A few weeks we've been really watching the news and keeping track of what's going on. When Illinois and Ohio, close states bordering us, did this, we knew it was coming.
With an order expected to drop by the end of the day, that all in-person dining in Kentucky is to stop until further notice. Sean Thatcher's baby is now left in limbo.
And there's other businesses here that's never had those things. They've never had curbside. They've never had delivery. So they're going to be a big adjustment for some of these businesses.
Thatcher and his wife poured their life savings into this venture.
They say, the average person can go 2 weeks without a paycheck and they're homeless basically. But I'm not going to say we're going to be homeless, but we're going to be out of business. If business stops, like if we have to close, this is our only source of income. Me and my wife, this is what we do for a living.
And while he has enough saved to last 2 weeks, getting to that point is unimaginable.
It's been an adventure for sure, and I hope this isn't the end of it, but I don't think it is. I really don't, but it could be.
Unimaginable because they aren't closing for good.
We're still here. Don't forget about us. When you got to run out and get food, we're still here.
Just stopping the foot traffic that drives this business. In Jackson, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Everyone needs to support local businesses. A meeting tomorrow for black jewel miners in Cumberland will not take place. Instead, attorney Ned Pillersdorf says he will address everything through Facebook Live. It is dealing with a settlement for those miners. He hopes to be able to outline what that settlement entails. Currently, the settlement is under judicial seal. Although schools were closed today, many bus drivers still drove their routes. Instead of student passengers, Floyd County school employees hopped on the bus to deliver NTI packets and snacks to students. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher went along for the ride to learn more.
School is not in session, but these buses did not sit empty.
Just run every regular run this afternoon and have the packets on there for the kids that need them, and then have a snack as well.
As schools across Kentucky closed due to the COVID-19 virus, Floyd County School Superintendent Danny Atkins knew they needed to take care of their own.
Here's you some snacks.
We do care about their nutritional well-being, their educational well-being, their emotional well-being.
Bus 1017 made around 20 stops.
So we know that those children will have the work they need to work on, and they'll also have a snack for tonight and a little bit of breakfast for in the morning.
Dropping off snacks.
When I say snack, I mean non-perishables. It could be fruit, it could be Pop-Tarts, it could be donuts.
And a work packet.
It really gives us an opportunity to thoroughly cover our district and ensure that the kids are getting what they need.
Although the packet may not be the most exciting part of the visit.
That might be a little bit of a downer for them.
What I say, Bubba?
Thank you.
Getting to see their teachers and bus driver makes it worth it.
Can I stretch this up, Chris?
In Floyd County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Mobile hot lunches will begin on Wednesday. If you would like your student's name on the list, you can call the school to learn more. Tonight, with the help of our sister station, WKYT, we're going to be taking a closer look at this new coronavirus. Sam Dick and Amber Philpott will speak with a panel of experts for Coronavirus, a Community Conversation. It's an hour-long special. They will answer your questions tonight from 7 until 8 on WYMT and HNI.
And those rain chances return tonight. We're going to see a warming trend as we head into the next few days with more rain chances as we head into the rest of the week. I'll have your forecast coming up.
Then later, a somber day at one Bell County school as co-workers remember a friend killed last week in a crash.
When you